Dick Durbin just proved he doesn't actually care about crime victims. He only cares about stopping President Trump's qualified nominees. We have the footage of his shameless, hypocritical attack where he tried to lecture a Republican on crime while his own city of Chicago burns to the ground. Let's check out the full clip first, and I'll share my thoughts afterward.
Work is the word that I would use most often.
Senator Durbin.
Thanks, Chairman Grassley. Mr. Duva, it was a pleasure to meet you in my office. I had never met you before, and you did well. You made, I thought, a convincing, sincere presentation of your belief of that the responsibility of the U.S. Attorney is unique. You acknowledged the authority of the office and the power of the office to change lives. You've been involved in a case that drew national attention on public corruption, and we talked about that for some period of time. The Penn section of the Department of Justice, which is part of your division, if you're confirmed, has been reduced in number from 30 to 2, and the 2 are literally novice political appointees. I was heartened to hear you believe that the Penn plays an important role in making decisions involving prosecution of public corruption. There's a longstanding requirement that prosecution of public officials be reviewed by Penn's career prosecutors to ensure that they are not politically motivated. Attorney General Bondi has reportedly eliminated this requirement. When we met, you told me you thought Penn played an important role in the process. Do you agree that Penn prosecutors should review the prosecution of public officials?
Thank you for the question, Ranking Member Durbin, and I enjoyed our 25 minutes in your office on Monday. I appreciate your time, and I thought we had a great and honest discussion. To answer your question about Penn, I've worked with Penn in multiple cases. I tried a case against a former member of Congress in 2017 with Penn, and it was a very good partnership. What I will do if I'm confirmed by the Senate is have a discussion with the Deputy Attorney General about repurposing Penn and figure out how to, if there's a lane, to build up that section and make it a more robust section than it is. I'm aware of the news. I wasn't involved in any of those decisions of it going from 30 lawyers to 2 lawyers. I understand some of those lawyers are detailed in other portions of the criminal division. But I think from my own experience, which is a specialty of mine, that public corruption prosecutions have an absolute place, both in the U.S. Attorney's offices and the criminal division. And I will have discussions with Deputy Attorney General Blanche because I believe the criminal division should have a footprint in those prosecutions and evaluating cases at the national level.
We've seen reports of the indictments against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. Many of them were hastily brought by Lindsay Halligan, a Trump loyalist installed as the interim U.S. Attorney when other prosecutors balked or were removed. I said to my staff how impressive our meeting was, and they said, what will he do when he gets the Comey call? What will he do as an 18-year veteran of the U.S. Attorney's Office when a political figure in this administration says, this is what I want you to do, prosecute this person, whether it's a member of Congress or someone who wronged the president in years gone by? You said you've done the job the right way for 18 years, and I have no reason to believe you have not. The question is whether or not you're going to stand by that when you're faced with that moment. It could be a call from the White House. It could be a call from the Department of Justice. It could be a tweet by the President of the United States instructing you to prosecute an individual that you know there's no evidence against. So let me ask you, Mr. Duva, what will you do?
I will stand by. When I was sworn as an AUSA, I took an oath, and I take it seriously, and I bring it before this committee today. Those cases are not being handled by the criminal division. They're being handled by another U.S. Attorney's Office, the Eastern District of Virginia. I really don't know much about them other than what I've read about them, so I cannot comment specifically on those cases, and I've never met Ms. Halligan. But what I can tell you, Senator, and what I told you in your office, is that I will always do one thing, and that is apply the facts to the law in any case, whether it's a public corruption case, a transnational drug case, or anything of that nature, because that's what you're sworn to do, and that is the only path for a prosecutor. And as I mentioned in my opening statement, all we have is our integrity, and if I get a call or a referral, the case will go to a line attorney in the public integrity section or whatever section it is, and it will be worked up properly by properly using the grand jury, and we will investigate a case and make a charging decision based on the justice manual and the ethics of my office.
Mr. Van Hook, you've been acting U.S. Attorney in the Western District of Louisiana. I'm sure up of Louisiana. I'm sure you're aware of the crime rate in Shreveport, Louisiana. What you may not know is the latest data shows that Shreveport has a higher murder rate than the city of Chicago. Is violent crime a problem in Shreveport?
Senator, violent crime is a problem anywhere, and in any murder, any having one victim of a murder is one too many. And as the being in leadership of the United States Attorney's Office in Shreveport, I've worked very hard with our state, local, federal law enforcement partners to do our best to help bring down the crime rate. We've worked with the district attorney there, the police chief. We've formed a collaborative partnership. You know, unlike a lot of places in this world today, we all get along there, and we've all worked very hard together to try to reduce crime.
Do you think you need the National Guard to fight crime in Shreveport, Louisiana?
I don't think we need them, but I think they would be welcome. I think that the chief of police would welcome them. Chief Smith, I believe, would welcome their help. And I think that whatever resources could be brought to bear to reduce crime in Shreveport would be helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's just the audacity, isn't it? The sheer unmitigated gall of the man. I mean, to sit there, he of all people, and try to pull a stunt like that, it's genuinely breathtaking. That was supposed to be the big moment, wasn't it? The big gotcha. He's had that one written down on his little notepad all morning. You can just tell, hey, I'll get him with this Shreveport thing. And it's such a classic, sleazy political game. Oh, the rate is higher. He's playing with numbers, hoping nobody notices that he's comparing, I don't know, a town to a sprawling metropolis. It's fundamentally dishonest. He knows exactly what he's doing, but it's just pure projection, isn't it? This is what they do. When you're failing so catastrophically, so publicly, I mean, when your own backyard is an absolute smoldering ruin, what else can you do? You have to point at someone else. Look, over there, a problem. And he's relying on everyone in that room and everyone watching to just forget where he's from, to forget the actual facts about his home city. I mean, the numbers are they're staggering. We're not talking about small figures here. We're talking about hundreds of people, 800 people in 1 year, then 700, then what? 800 again for the whole county. That's not a crime wave. That's a war zone. And he presides over it. And the why of it all is the most infuriating part. This isn't a mystery. This isn't some act of God. This is policy. This is a direct, foreseeable consequence of the exact policies that Dick Durbin himself has championed. He's one of the main guys, isn't he? Pushing that Safety Act, the cashless bail disaster. I mean, what did they think was going to happen? You just decide to stop enforcing the law. You let violent people walk right back out, and you're surprised when it all goes to hell. And let's not forget who he props up. People like Kim Foxx, the woman who famously let Jussie Smollett walk, who just decides not to prosecute thousands of felonies. That's his justice system. And he has the nerve to lecture anyone. It really is. It's like an arsonist showing up to a small kitchen fire and just screaming at the homeowner about fire safety. It's a level of hypocrisy that is just, it's almost impressive, honestly. And, the other part of all this, his little panic about the public integrity section. I mean, what does that tell you? He's not worried about integrity. He's worried about his political protection racket getting downsized. He's terrified of a DOJ that isn't a weapon for his side. I don't know how you can sit there with that record, with that city's body count on your party's hands and claim to have any moral authority to question anybody on public safety. It's disqualifying, utterly. Share your thoughts below, and if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for being here. See you soon.